Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more.
The Man That Can Project podcast, a podcast empowering career-driven men to live more fulfilling lives. We are here to challenge your beliefs, redefine success, and talk about the important stuff in a relatable way. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. My name's Lachlan Stuart. Let's get into it. Happy Friday, lads. I hope the week has been phenomenal. I am sure it has. Yesterday, I had an absolute belter of a day. Scotty, one of our members, who's an all-round great bloke, invited me up and I did a workshop with the physiotherapy practice that he's part of. So it was great to be able to chat about time management. It was great to be able to chat about stress management and goal setting, so personal goal setting and professional goal setting, and how they're actually intertwined, and you can use them to create team goals for your business, which was really cool. So that was fun. What I am going to talk to you about today is for those men who are successful, the importance of time management to improve your mental health and your life balance. One thing I've noticed, and whether it is that your success is defined by a monetary value, a status value, whatever it is, generally when you're striving for success, we have quite a large expectation attached to that. It could be, I have to earn six figures. And generally in the beginning, when you're working towards earning six figures, that leads to working a lot of hours. It means sacrificing a lot. And you just put every waking moment pretty much thinking about work. And what can often happen is, as a result, your mental health, and when I think about your mental health, what I would characterize that as being would be your purpose, your value, and your overall happiness take a hit, because anything we don't focus on, we lose growth in, right? We don't prioritize it. So I look at it as, when I was trying to build my business in the beginning, I'm sitting there going, man, I'm not enjoying this process at all. Like, I'm working my ass off, my income's growing, but every day when I put tools down, when I shut the laptop up, I don't feel fulfilled. And what once was fulfilling, which is what I got into work for, is no longer fulfilling. I'm knackered. And because I was putting in such long hours and I wasn't using a lot of the tools that we talk about, from journaling to self-reflection to having breaks, I started to become bitter. Right? My mental health started to take a hit. My value for what I was doing declined, or I just lost focus of it. The purpose behind why I was doing what I was doing became non-existent. Or I didn't have a moment to step back and really focus on what it was that I was trying to achieve. And then the work-life balance, obviously, as I mentioned, for most of us, if you're working 8 hours a day minimum, right? Let's say a 40-hour week, majority of your waking hours you will be spending at work. So time management is a key skill for success. It can also be a source of stress and anxiety for so many of us, because Jocko Willink talks about discipline equals freedom, and how you create discipline is through time management. And I feel when you're not in control of your time, and I experience this all the time. I go through being extremely on top of it, and then I get a little bit relaxed. And when I start to feel overwhelmed, I'm like, man, I have not been controlling my time very well at all. I've been giving my time to everyone. I haven't been efficient with my time. My calendar looks like a kid with a colouring in crayon, and it's just gone to town on it, and there's no flow. So successful men in particular may feel pressure to constantly be working and to be productive. I know that's something I experience, and honestly, it's a big challenge in my life. And that can lead to burnout, which seems to be on the rise, and obviously have that negative impact on your mental health and your overall life balance. So we need to think about this, and you need to be mindful of it. And if it's something that you're experiencing, what can you do? And bringing it back to time management, obviously some of the common challenges that many of you successful men face when it comes to the time management and mental health include the difficulty of prioritizing self-care, feeling guilty for taking time off, delegating tasks, God forbid we let go of control, and struggling to disconnect from work and technology. I face those on a daily basis. Yes, I'm throwing myself in that successful basket. I feel like you should too. You listen to this podcast, I feel you should too. But when we look at how we can overcome these things, you got to have a strategy in place. You have to. I always think about it like this. The time that we invest today, so whatever you do today is an investment in your future self. So if you look at your calendar and how it's going, are you going to be happy with the ROIs of that investment? Now, you can have different buckets for sure. Most of them probably fall down to health, wealth, and relationships, right? Those three there. But if all of your time is being invested in wealth, is your future self going to be happy about neglecting health and relationships in the future? Because that is what a lot of you are doing. Right? Your relationships are crumbling around you. Your health is atrocious. Your energy, the way your body moves is not where you want it to be. It's not something you're proud of. So rather than just waking up one day and go, man, I'm extremely obese, you got to think to yourself, what are the small little deposits I can do today? Right? You need to identify what the goal is. So one thing that I spoke about yesterday, and I'll give you guys these actionable steps because it's obviously up to you to implement it. But before I guess dive into a little bit more about how you can overcome those challenges, the main thing is time management. Right? You need to identify the goal. What is the specific task or goal that you want to achieve? From that, second point, you need to analyze time. Or analyze your time, not just time in general. You could sit there staring at a clock. Wouldn't be fun. It used to be fun when I smoked a lot of reefer, but not so fun now. So keep a time log for a week, noting down how you spend your time throughout the day. Identify the tasks or activities that are taking up most of your time and consider if they are necessary or they need to be eliminated. Right, let's analyze your time. Number 3, prioritize. Make a list of all the tasks and responsibilities you need to complete. Prioritize them based on importance and deadline. Number 4, create a schedule. Google Calendar, iCal, I can't even remember there's an app now for couples. It's like Timeshare or something like that. But to schedule time for your most important tasks and responsibility. Also schedule, I believe, your travel time, time for breaks, self-care, and leisure activities. Once you do that, right, the best thing about doing that on a calendar, a physical calendar, you can look at it and you can go, wow, I don't actually have that much time. And when you realize that, because most of us don't have much time, if you realize that, you're going to start being more intentional with the decisions that you make and where you put your time, which is a great thing to do. Number 5, eliminate distractions. Huge, right? Saying no and eliminating those bad boys. Identify any distractions that are preventing you from staying on task and make a plan to eliminate them. This can include things like turning off your phone during work hours. For those who try to call me, you'll know very well that my phone is always on Do Not Disturb. I don't want a phone call while I'm doing something important during my day. I'll get back to the phone calls when I have time delegated for that. So close unnecessary tabs on computer and find a quiet or productive working environment. Some people love working in noise. I don't know how, but some people do. Number 6, and this is important with everything that you do in your life. Review your progress regularly and adjust your schedule as needed. A lot of people don't want to take control of their time because they somehow believe that it is set in stone. It's never set in stone. You get to modify it as much as you feel is going to be beneficial for you. And number 7, make use of apps or software that help you manage time effectively, such as to-do lists, timers, and reminders. Okay. So that was a little bonus strategy there. But when you're looking to overcome those to find ways to improve your life balance and mental health, think about things that allow you to do that, right? So a quick list with that would be prioritize self-care as a key part of your success strategy, right? Giving back to yourself. Think about it like this, and I just literally read an Instagram post. I'll quickly open my Instagram to see if it's still up there, because if it was, you guys will absolutely love it. No, it's not. That's okay. So with it, that post was saying you spend X amount of time in your car. Sorry, Siri. You spend X amount of time in your house, but 100% of time in your body. Most of us spend a fortune on buying a nice car. We spend a fortune on buying a nice house. And we don't spend a fortune on ourselves. And that can be time or money. So it was an interesting perspective to read. I should have actually screenshotted that. Anyway, so you may need to set some boundaries around work and technology especially. We bought a K-Safe, it's called, where you can lock your phone in it for a select period of time. It's actually very, very useful. You can prioritize hobbies and other activities outside of work. So think about this. Most people know that what their work hours are. You know what you generally got to get done during those work hours. What about the time around that? That's why I mentioned before, create a schedule. Put it in the schedule, the things that are important to you, catching up with your mates, your hobbies, your exercise time, because when it's there, you're more likely to do it. Okay, so other things that you can do to improve your time management and life balance would be delegating tasks to others. This can be in the workplace, but this may also be around the house. And an example I gave yesterday was Amy and I don't do grocery shopping, for example, together. She'll go do the groceries and I'll do other things, and vice versa. And that's just another example. I'm the dish pig while she'll do other things. So rather than two people doing one task, yeah, you can if you want to connect. That's your time to hang out. That's completely fine. But for us, our goal is to get as much free time together as possible so we understand the power of delegation and leverage there. So to wrap it up, I think it's very important that you recognize improving time management and mental health is going to be an ongoing process that requires dedication and effort. By committing to scheduling your time, like I mentioned, regular self-care routine, setting realistic goals for work and life, you as a successful man can create and achieve greater balance and fulfillment in your personal and professional life. And it's something that I want for everyone because I do believe it's possible. Brad and I were talking about it yesterday, where so many of you have sacrificed your health and your relationships in order to move ahead financially, and most people still aren't where they want to be financially. So you've got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Are you going to keep chasing that and get to 50 and go, man, I fucked up. I wish I still had my health. I wish I still had my hobbies. That's enough from me. If you got value from this episode, make sure to leave a rating or review. It'll take you 10 seconds, right? It may be the one rating or review that people need out there to listen to the potty that gives them an episode that changes their life. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.